then.
Yeah.
All right. Ibis Love Haven, how are you
Hi,
doing?
everyone.
Hi.
I'm very well, Daddy Freeze. Good evening.
Good evening. So this housewife talk, what is your position?
Okay, let me start with myself. When I got married 13 years ago, because of the nature of my husband's job, he was always gone for a month. He would come back another month. And because I was in the bank, I was working in the bank and I was on the island. So there is just no way I can be working and be having time for the house. So at that time, I stepped back. I stopped working at that time. But the beautiful thing is, he was okay enough to, he was okay enough to be paying me monthly salary. I was getting monthly salary at that time, right? And that was back in Nigeria, and I did not do any office work until I left about 8 years ago. But when I came into this country, converting Naira to dollar, right? I mean, what will I even be doing at home, right? Doing nothing. So I had to pick up something. What I'm saying in essence is, it depends on the environment that you are in. If you are here in Canada, you need to support your husband. At the same time, you might not be doing 8 hours to 8 hours job, but at least you should have some confidence in yourself. You should be doing something. Sometimes I press my pedal, sometimes I don't, which simply means when my husband is around, I don't get myself occupied because I need to be, I need to be available for him. I need to be available for the children. But you should have something that you are doing as a wife. At the end of the day, that man is going to outgrow you. Your husband is doing, he's doing his PhD, he's doing his master's, and you are just at home cooking and cleaning. No, except if both of you are on the same page of staying at home. But if your husband is not that kind of a man, working for a multinational company, and you are just at home cooking and cleaning, I bet you the world outgrow. He's going to outgrow you because you're not going to be speaking the same language anymore.
Hold on. Hey, children are making noise. I told you 2 stories of 2 men who didn't outgrow them. You see, that a man is going to outgrow you. I think it's a fallacy that women create to make themselves feel that they need careers.
That's not true. I disagree.
Hold on. You are a woman.
You use that word a lot. You tell people you are going to.
But it's not a competition, is it? Is it a competition? It's not a competition. No.
Hold on. You are women. When I'm done with this round of women, I'm going to bring 3 men. Women think men outgrow. Listen, if I had a PhD and my wife doesn't have a PhD, as long as my wife is smart enough to keep a conversation with me, you understand what I'm telling you? Most men who marry all these career women, when they cheat with house girl. They cheat with OND. They cheat with dropouts. Never has a man who married a professor cheated on her with another professor. There's a message there somewhere. I understand what you're saying here. You are there for your husband, blah, blah. If your husband is getting a PhD, what does your husband want in you? It is not a competition. My husband has a PhD, I must have masters. It is not a competition. Let me tell you, you'll be amazed. Those days when we were in school, all those our professors, they used to sleep with undergraduates now. They used to have girlfriends among us. And their wives are also professors. Then we have all those small student girlfriends, those girls that can entertain them. A man needs entertainment. A man needs a companion. Oh, it is nice for me to have an intelligent companion. But at the end of the day, if I'm going to choose between intelligence and companion, I want companion. Unless the woman is really dumb and then puts the man in trouble. But I want men to talk. You see, men are visual. For instance, I want to cheat on my wife, I'll be looking for somebody that read book. Post my baby. I can have Samaria. I can call Samaria for 5 hours. I say, Samaria, today I want to talk to you for 5 hours, and we talk about book things. But when I want to cheat, what I'm looking for is the behind. What I'm looking for is this. What I'm looking for is, I'm not even looking for your face, because half the time it's going to be bent over. Do you understand?
That dynamics can work in Nigeria, not here. Whatever they do here is household income. So only one person might not be able to shadow that.
Let's not generalize. I've learned this. I have friends in Canada who are wealthy. One of my former schoolmates drives a Lamborghini. At that level, where you are making, where your annual income is $3 million, you are not looking for, it is when you are earning $100,000, you are looking for another person with another $100,000. So
that even 100,000 don't let their wives work. I have a friend who is a full housewife with 2 kids. In fact, matter of fact, most men, what they look at is number of kids. If you have 2 kids, for example, and you see maybe a toddler and an infant, sending them to the daycare is how much in a month? You prefer your wife to stay back home and look after them. It doesn't mean that I have friends that don't work. This is what they do.
A lot of
people stay at home as housewives and babysit
take care of their
children.
kids.
Because there's a lot of them. How much are you going to pay at the daycare at the end of the month?
The daycare,
you don't even need to own the world to make a wife a housewife. So
I lost my job when I had my last baby, 2020. I lost my job because the hours doesn't suit me and my kids. My husband suggested, oh, should we take our last baby to daycare, or sugar, you stay at home? I said, over my dead body. I can't stay at home. Why? I have to keep gathering my experiences. And this part of the world, if you don't have experience, it's too hard for anyone to hire you. They need experience. I said, no. So my mom has to be coming and going, go to Nigeria, spend 2 months, come back to Canada.
Now imagine your husband had a business and was making $3 million a year.
My husband gave me that option, that the phrase. They promoted him. He has to be going to the States and be coming back to Canada. Sugar, this. I said, my friend, that's not going to work. I need my Canadian experience as much as you need yours. Because if I want to upgrade or anything, experience is what matters in this part of the world.
Hold on. Your husband was $3 million a year. You see, your husband was...
I don't know what the income was, but I know he gave me that option.
If
I said never.
Is making 3 million, guys, all of you.
No, that the freeze I want to work, even if you make 20 billion.
1 million pounds. Wait, if your husband is making 1 million pounds a year, or 3 million Canadian dollars, or 2 million US dollars a year, the conversation will be different.
That is freeze. Don't let me make mouth here.
That's true.
But freeze, I want to work. I need my experience. I want to be independent. If my husband die, if the man fight, what will you do? That is a beg go. And do nothing.
But it's not about what I can comfort. I've not been doing it.
I work 3 days a week. That freeze. I work only 3 days a week. Myself, 3 days a week.
It's not about you. God forbid, if anything happens to that man.
About something. Okay, let's just assume
you don't have to be competing with your husband.
What if separation?
My former classmate, hold on. My former classmate makes 3 million Canadian dollars a year. The conversation is different. Do you know the kind of insurance that his wife is on? At $3 million a year. Do you know the kind? If anything happens to him within the next 3 years, within the next 10 years, his wife gets a $20 million payout. You see, the conversation we're having this Canadian...
That freeze, I disagree with you.
You don't have $20 million.
That freeze, I disagree with you. If you have things like you're paying mortgage, if something happened, like we said, that's when you will realize what we're saying, the reality.
Hold on. What reality are you under? What reality are you achieving? When if anything happens to the man, you get $20 million. That's his insurance policy. $20 million. That work you are doing. If you do it for the next 50 years, you will not have $20 million. Yes or no?
That is phrase for my own. I don't want to start home. That's for me.
That work.
I do not want to stay in the house.
Wait. That work you do it for the next 50 years. In fact, the next 100 years, you cannot have $20 million cash lump sum once. His insurance for his wife is
$20 million. That is free.
Yes. He earns
It's a
$3 million
whole lot of money, though, but
that is
with
free.
$20 million a year, listen, if you are the biggest olodo in this life, say you know book, and you buy 10 to $2 million houses in Canada, you can never go hungry. Just go and buy 10 to $2 million houses with all the money.
I agree with that. Yes.
Never go hungry. Your parents in the village will
have
never
to be
go hungry.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you see, what I'm saying is the conversations we're having is we are still struggling. Even though you guys are middle class, you are still middle class. You have not experienced upper middle class or upper.
How did you know Daddy Freeze now?
No.
I beg.
No.
Ask Daddy Freeze.
Upper class.
Ask Daddy Freeze.
Upper class.
Daddy Freeze, I beg, don't conclude, please.
No,
don't conclude.
The truth. Hold on.
Because you don't do TikTok for here.
I'm telling
you. People don't like to talk on social media. Daddy Freeze, leave us with our matter.
Tell me that you could make 1 million.
Daddy Freeze, I beg, I don't get strength. I don't know.
1 million Canadian dollars a year.
I know even make up to $1,000 self. I know make. Daddy Freeze, I beg. This is
Daddy Freeze, we are not that
social
media. Daddy Freeze, I beg.
Because we do TikTok. Because we do TikTok, Daddy Freeze.
You know what $1 million a year
Daddy
is?
Freeze.
Make una leave $1 million a year. I'm not talking about $100,000 a year. I'm not talking about $200,000 a year. I'm talking about 1 million, let alone $3 million a year. Do you know what $3 million a year is?
But Daddy Freeze,
not your salary. Listen, I can pay for none of you make it.
It's a whole lot of money, though. Yeah, it's a whole lot of money.
Canada makes what? Which work are you doing? Are you working? Are you the PA to the president?
Daddy Freeze. No matter how much I want to work, that's just me.
Maybe you are a neurosurgeon #1 in the whole Canada. That's when you be talking about that kind of salary. We're talking of $3 million a year. You people are saying you are. None of you
but sincerely, Daddy Freeze, sincerely, you cannot be out of the house all the time. You cannot be competing with your husband with 8 hours job, 12 hours job. You're not going to create a balance to your home. I'm of that school of thought that a woman should be available, but I'm also on that school of thought that at least you should have something that you are doing. You don't have to do too much. You don't have to press too much, especially if your husband can provide for you. I have not worked in 3 years. My twins will be 3 in May.
Wow.
My work is just my coaching session and whatever I'm doing online. So, but at the same time, of course, I'm in school, right? And I'm still home. I just have to be available. I believe that there should be something that I'm doing. I believe that I should be available for my children, not just for my husband, for my children. They need
Let me tell you something. Let me break people's hearts. If your husband makes $3 million a year from investments, because what my friend does is real estate, and he has been doing many years. And on that level, you'll be amazed that these people don't even pay as much tax as people do from normal work. At that conversation level, because this guy, if he just go marry one woman for Nigeria, buy him one house for Lekki, give him Bele, they take care of him there, they go Nigeria once every 6 months. That's how big $3 million a year is. So when that kind of,
they insult us for this line, some of them are not making 120,000 though, and they are insulting us. So they are not even making 100 though.
You see, we need to have these conversations, because sometimes the problem we all have is we are earning 50K, 70K a year, and we are thinking 50K and 70K, forgetting that tomorrow something can happen and we can be upgraded out of that box into a totally different box. Now, you see, the way you think when you're earning $50,000 a year. It's different from where you think when you're earning $500,000 a year. It's now totally different from when you are earning $3 million a year. You can't use that 50,000 at $3 million a year. You can afford daycare for any child. It's not a problem. You can afford driver in Canada.
Daddy Freeze, I have a question for you.
You can afford to bring a house girl from Nigeria. You see, there are conversations you are having because there is a level of, how do I put it, you have not gone into yet. Once you step into that realm, the realm of, I have a friend who's coming to Nigeria, and I asked him what's his flight. You know what his answer was? Anytime I get to the airport, that's my flight. Because he has a price ticket. It's a different conversation. Okay. It's a different conversation. Another friend of mine followed him on the plane. They went to Paris. They landed in Paris. My guy wanted to pack his bag. You know, normally you land somewhere, you will pack your bag. I said, why are you packing your bag? Now we get the aeroplane, leave your bag. The conversation is different. The conversation in economy class is different from the conversation in business class, is different from the conversation in first class, is different from the conversation in private jet. Where you can afford your own plane. Now you dictate the time where you want travel. Just tell the pilot to get the plane ready. Any day you reach airport, once they can give you clearance. If it's not a busy airport, you travel 30 minutes from the time you show up at the airport. If it's a busy airport, you need maybe 2-3 hours. I don't know if I'm making sense.
So I don't care how much the man earns.
The problem is we are all thinking, we're not thinking outside of our situation. We're just believing that we're in this our same situation and then there's $3 million. No. If there was an inflow of $3 million annually into your situation, the situation would change dynamics. Because you even tell your husband that he's stingy if he cannot bring $2,400 to pay nanny. So let me bring some men. I see John in the background. Who wants to talk with John?
Daddy Freeze, I'm just gonna leave.
Don't leave. John is coming. I know Destiny wants to go, so that's why.
No, Daddy Freeze, don't get me wrong. I'm not leaving because you're bringing John. I just came back from somewhere and I want to have my shower. So it's not because of John. In a good time, I will be in a conversation with John. Trust me, I fear no one. I've seen 99. I'm not scared of 100.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah. Okay. So Bukola, thank you so much. Destiny, thank you so much. Destiny, you can go and have your shower. Take the phone along.
Let me quickly say,
thank you, sir. God
leave
bless
your
you.
husband at the mercy of house girl. It's very dangerous.
God bless you.
It's very
dangerous. Said.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what you just said. You just said, buy a Ferrari, but drive it very slowly. That's what you just said. You want, listen, you want to have your husband's time. But you see, your husband is wealthy. I'm not talking about comfortable. I'm talking about wealthy. Where you live in a $4 million house in Canada with 3 garages, and the 3 garages are full, and the garage, you know those garages that inside one garage, 2 cars, one will be on top of the other. That's the kind of money we are talking about. So that kind of money, guess what? Most of the business, my guy is done from work by 1 o'clock every day. Because in Canada, it's not like Nigeria. You go to the site, you tell them what you want. You don't have to sit down there from morning to night and say if they are mixing the cement right. They don't burn them and they don't mix the cement well. Half of the problems we have in Nigeria is because we are all thieves. The person you are hiring is a thief. The cement supplier is a thief. The downfall driver bringing the cement is another thief. The site manager is a thief. The architect is a thief. All of them are thieves. So you have to micromanage everything. But in a situation where you live in a decent nation, if you are into construction, you just go there, you know what you want. Okay, I want this like this, this like this, like this. Okay, this is how far you've gone, blah, blah, blah. Even once it's 5 o'clock, they close and they go home. On special days when you have special things to do on the project, there might be overtime. But a normal day, they go to work at 7 o'clock, start at that 7 o'clock, at 5 o'clock, they close, everybody goes home. So
That means I would love to be here when John is here. Sorry to cut you off. I will wait when he comes in for a minute, then I'll wait.
So
Yeah.
let me remove Destiny so Destiny can go and shower then.
Daddy Freeze, what if I say I'm not going then?
Okay.
Never mind. No. Daddy Freeze, I have to go. I'm so sorry. No. I have to go. I have to go freshen up. My husband will still be home.
Thank you so much for the money you got for me on TikTok. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
No worries,
I'm just
Daddy
on for
Freeze.
one.
I will leave, so you don't have a problem bringing John.
Okay. Help me leave. I can bring you.
Think that
Daddy Freeze, you know when women are idle, they tend to have time for a lot of nonsense. I don't believe a woman should be idle for any reason, because it gives room for them to start acting funny, being suspicious, having time to mess around and stuff like that. Women should be engaged. They should be busy all the time.
Woman. John.
Daddy Freeze, how far now? Buki, how far now?
Okay.
Samaria.
Thank you.
Let us hand over to you, John. Over to you. Now, anything you talk now it will be final. After you talk, I go close the live. Oh, yeah.
Can't be now. But the truth is that women that don't want to be housewives have not met a rich husband. That's why. It's not. It's all this since where did they talk now? Talking the truth. If you meet a man who is wealthy, who is willing to keep you at home and give you the baby girl, that face you're even talking about 3 million USD. How many people earn 3 million USD annually in this world? Small $500,000, you'll be a housewife to the fullest. I have a friend who lives in Abu Dhabi. He pays his wife $5,000 every month. His wife is full-blown akata. She is happy staying at home because her friends who are teachers in Abu Dhabi earn like $6,000 a month going to work every day. She earns $5,000 sitting at home and taking care of the kids. Tax-free. So all these things we they talk now because on a never jam man we hold better bread.
John,
How many men can actually
because if you listen to what I said earlier when I answered my question, I said that if you decide to pay me salary, that's number one.
Of course.
If you decide to pay me salary, that's number one. Then allow me to invest in whatever of my choice. If you don't want me, yes.
500,000 divided by 12 is what?
It doesn't matter. Because even if you're giving me those money and I'm stocking them somewhere, I need to invest them into something.
500,000 divided by 12 is about 30. Divided by 12. I want to know how this
I want you to understand that money
that's
has
about
a spirit. The more you have
month.
money, the more the eager to have more. You never satisfy with money. You keep pushing you. The place to go for more. So no matter how much you give me, I'm telling you that I would want to invest to keep getting more and more and more and more. That's the spirit.
Madam, let me tell you something.
No.
If a man,
it doesn't matter how much you pay me. I want to invest.
If a man that earns $500,000 a month, it doesn't pay mortgage. A year is not a mortgage. People like that buy their houses outrightly. They buy their houses outrightly. So you're living in a house that is fully paid for. You drive a car that is fully paid for. Every other thing, you need that $5,000 and just say you did house, you want to go and watch a movie. And let me just go and watch a movie with the kids. You step out, get dressed and go and watch a movie with the kids.
I'm telling you that money has a spirit. Why do you think the rich keep getting richer? Because why do you think the rich people like Dangote and the rest of them don't say, oh, I'm one of the richest men in the world. I don't need to work anymore. I don't need to invest anymore.
Hold on. In America, there is a class of people called idle rich.
Okay. But that is free. But for me, as a person, I want more.
Let's talk about the idle rich. How do you become idle rich? Bill Gates wants to start Microsoft. He raises $100,000. Inside your own is $20,000. You will never work till you buy.
That's sincerely investment. That is still part of investment. Just like yes, I understand what you're trying to say. Most people do that. They give you money to start up something. They are part of the business, whatever it is that you've started. People do it. So if you let me invest on the salary, that's fine.
Sincerely, I'm not going to work. That's the like, I'm not going to do any other thing other than taking care of the house. But there is something must be entering my account every month. Something I have done it before.
Listen,
I have done it before.
Hold on. That's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
The rich man in Ibadan, the oil guy in Port Harcourt, and this John's friend, they all have their wives on monthly salaries.
Let me tell you guys one story. Yeah? You know, I understand that women always want to go out and work, especially I will understand if the woman is a professional, like maybe a doctor. You know, doctors work out of passion. Most of them work out of passion. Yes. A doctor works out of passion. What do you
mean they have to be a doctor because of work? What do you mean by that? We don't have other job that you can work with passion.
No, what I mean by work out of passion, the doctor wants to see his or herself grow up to be a surgeon. That she might not be even keen about the salary. For example, let me give you an example. You know Genesis. You know Genesis cinemas in Nigeria.
How about the lawyer?
You know Genesis?
Yes.
Genesis' wife is my close relation, and she's a doctor. She's a doctor in University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital. How much does the doctor earn there? 450,000 naira a month. But she goes to work every day. That is because she's doing it out of passion. There was a time Nato came back home and the wife was on night call. The next morning, he drove to the hospital and met the chief medical director. Told him, "You will tell me who's marrying this woman, whether it's you or me. Why would you put my wife on night call?" He just left her to do it because he knows she's doing it out of passion. That money is not her problem. Is it that salary?
Now you are talking. You see, you are being biased. Now, this is exactly the point. Because time is not about how much you're being paid. There are people who have the passion. The fact they just get dressed to go there, the fact their clients waiting for them, they need to attend to is the
Madam, relax. I'm getting somewhere. I'm not being biased. For medicine as a profession, people who practice medicine out of the passion for it. You cannot tell me that you're a sales rep or you're a lawyer. So
you cannot be passionate about being a lawyer. What are you saying now?
You can't be passionate about. Okay, hold on a second. So pro bono lawyers. Hold on a second. So pro bono lawyers are not passionate about their stuff, right? These free lawyers that go about rendering services to people for free. It's not about passion.
Nobody on earth have the right to compare medicine with any other profession in this.
No. People decide to study a course for reasons best known to them.
Madam, they save lives.
You may decide to do law because it could be okay. Hold on a second. Now, do you believe with me that there are incidents that will prone you to choosing a particular career in life? You may have had a case growing up as a childhood. You may have read a story where people were surprised, where people were unable to pay a lawyer for one case or another. For that reason, you decided to pursue that career. And then you decide to be a lawyer tomorrow just to help those who are voiceless. So tell me a situation like that, you tell yourself it's not calling, it's not feeling.
Don't go back again.
You cannot compare engineering and
carry phone, enter
I'm not talking about engineering, I'm talking about lawyers.
Lawyers are irrelevant.
Lawyers don't have the passion.
Lawyers are irrelevant.
How can you say lawyers are irrelevant?
John, you can speak for yourself, but not for others.
Lawyers are irrelevant. You cannot compare law and medicine.
How can you say lawyers are irrelevant?
Look, I'm a nurse. Do you understand? Being a nurse for me is a passion. But that does not mean if I had chosen to read law,
Samaria is a passion or is a passion?
That is passion. Because I did it in Nigeria. That is in Nigeria is passion. I told you before now. It's passion.
You see lawyers there.
Sorry?
Lawyers there. You lawyers are not, how will I put it? They're not necessary. They are not necessary. A doctor
is a necessity.
They are not necessary.
Why do you?
So nurses are not necessities. Psychologists are not necessities. Social workers are not necessities.
Yes,
What are you saying now?
No, come on. No.
I think lawyers are very necessary.
They are very necessary when it comes to people that want to steal property and want to keep others here.
I disagree with you still.
Daddy Freeze.
John, I bet you that if you, for example, God forbid as a child, you saw your properties or you saw your family go through things simply because you were unable to afford a lawyer. You want to read law to help people in the future. I'm telling you.
Excuse me.
People have reasons why they just
madam, when a war breaks out, is anybody interested in lawyers and being enlisted into the army?
We are.
No.
We know that. We know they are not at that time. No, they are not the priorities.
Madam, please let me learn. The people that are necessary to be enlisted into the army are engineers and doctors, because you have to fix those trucks. You have to save those lives. During the war, who is talking about this is my land, this is his land? No.
We're not talking about law. We're not talking about war here. We're talking about passion. We're not talking about war. We're talking about passion. We're talking about career. We're talking about career. That's what we're talking about. Don't divert. No, it's just like saying, oh, what is the necessities, the basic things people need during war, food and stuff like that.
Madam.
Oh, saying somebody who owns a barber shop. Nobody goes there during war, but people will always eat.
Madam,
so this is different. We're talking about career.
The basic thing people need during the war is food. They need to be alive to fight.
I'm telling you that, but that's not what we're talking about here. Don't forget.
John mentioned
John. That's an engineer.
Okay, guys.
Because he's an engineer, you are partial.
All right.
Because you are
everybody's gonna get 1 minute. Hold on. Everybody's gonna get 1 minute. I'm rounding off before this thing turns to a bigger fight than it is already. No. So Samaria, Buki, and John, 1 minute each. Samaria, your 1 minute. Okay. Go back to Samaria, your 1 minute.
Samaria.
I don't have anything else to say. All I'm saying is, if you want to keep me as a housewife, if you pay me salary, that's fine, but allow me to invest. If you disagree with me investing, well, I must do something. That's all I'm saying, because I don't just sit around the house doing nothing. Even though I have to look after the kids, there are a lot of things I can do without stepping out of the house. So just allow me to be able to be independent. To give joy.
What is Camilla's job? Camilla do?
So, that place I live for that place with them.
Conversation, because this, you want to have a job, If you're going to marry Prince William, you're not going to have a job.
Yeah, because there's a lot of jobs to do in the house.
Good.
That if he's living there alone, is a lot of work.
If you're marrying somebody who is either on that level of royalty or that level of money, you are
well
not
understood. Well understood.
That
one is understandable. That one is understandable. That is freeze. But not just an average, and you just want me to sit around. We need to work together.
Listen.
My own money. In a sweet when I spend my own money, I beg.
I'm sorry. This is an aspirational topic. If you are Nigerian earning 70,000 naira a month, this is not your conversation. You can listen and learn and pick things up, because that 70,000 naira, you see blow tomorrow. You say if you own your own private jet, nobody go run you down. But for now, this is not your conversation. Your conversation is how you are going to eat. Even if you are abroad and you are earning minimum wage, guys, you are earning below $200,000.
Even if you're earning $70,000,
it's not per annum.
To be honest, working is very stressful. You see that baby girl treats. I write it on my status. I'll be like, man, this independent woman, I don't do it again. I need baby girl treats. But then, not just, well, it depends on the kind of man, that have to make me a housewife. Like you rightly say, there are certain men that will make you a housewife. You don't really need any job out there. There's enough work to do in a house every day. But there are certain men that just want to make you a housewife. Then you need a backup man, just in case something goes wrong.
Any man who is not rich cannot housewife a woman, unless it is that time when they are raising their kids and their kids are small and the woman is sacrificing so as not to pay now.
Exactly. That's where I'm saying it.
But any man that does not have $500,000 a year and above this is not your conversation. You
What are
understand?
they doing? That's the thing.
Now, if you earn $100,000 a year in Nigeria, you can be in this, because what $100,000 will buy for you a year in Nigeria, it cannot buy for you abroad. So, bam, you can be in this conversation. Now, Bukola, your own 1 minute. What are your final thoughts?
The truth is, I love soft life, very, very soft life. If my husband is earning 3 million, of course, I want to be at home. But definitely, he's going to be paying me something at the end of the month, because I have done it before. I did it for so many years. I was at home back in Nigeria and I was getting paid, right? I love soft life. If he has that money, of course, I'm going to stay at home and be doing everything. But then he has to be putting something in my account. It's not about him. God forbid if anything happens to you. So God forbid, it's not about me competing with him. I want to be available for my children. I want to be available for him. I love family life a lot. I believe, if I have my family in order, I have my community in order, I'm preparing them for the world. I'm preparing them for nation building. So I love my family. I love soft life, but then something must be entering my account every month. And I want to advise every house lady, every housewife listening to me right now, it is very okay for you to support your husband, but please don't drag with your husband. Don't compete with your husband. Most of the responsibilities of taking care of the home and taking care of our children lies in our hands. Sometimes men cannot do it better. We can do it better than them. Protect your children, protect your household, build children that will be, profitable to the community and the world at large, not the ones that will come in and they will be looking for cheap money like the ones we are experiencing in Nigeria, destroying nations, destroying countries.
Nigeria, even in that Canada you people live in.
I know. So wherever you are in this life, please, your family, make them priorities. Thank you.
All right, John, your final 1 minute. I can run away this conversation before they start to beat me.
Say the truth now. Say most times when you see women say they can't be housewives no matter what. They want to have wings so that they can fly. You understand? They want so that if they come back from work, they go branch that place where they normally branch. The truth is that if a man provides you with exactly what you will go out and look for, what are you going outside to look for? He has put himself. Do you know how much risk such men take to make that money? They make that money. They go through a lot to make that money, and he wants you not. He doesn't want to go through that, to put yourself in harm's way like he's doing, and he wants to stay at home and just enjoy the dividends of his labor. Sit your ass back at home and enjoy it. No be long thing. Just sit back at home and enjoy it. What are you going to look for outside? What you want? You want one boss to be commanding you and be looking at the line of your G-string when you wear G-string in the office.
How about you being your own boss? When they say woman, the woman has to work, does it mean that she has to work on that?
Madam, you can never
be her own boss.
You can never be your own boss, because
Why?
every boss.
Sorry?
If a businessman who owns businesses have someone he goes to meet to give.
You lie. I disagree with you on that.
Madam, if you own a store, kiddie store, the man who comes in to patronize your business is your boss.
Let me tell. I think I said this before. I don't want to
comes in to patronize you.
Your boss.
He's a customer.
I think that's what I'm arguing about, to be honest with you.
Man is a customer.
An argument I don't like engaging myself in. For real. I wouldn't want to engage
The only boss that I have right now is my husband. The man who comes to patronize me is not my boss.
Madam.
The only boss that I have is my husband.
If I send you an email now,
there's certain arguments I don't like to engage in.
If I send you an email and tell you that I want consultation, what will you first call me, sir? You say, sir. You're not.
I don't use sir.
Okay.
Does it matter?
Sir for waiting.
It doesn't matter. You still not to understand this whole thing. If I were, let's say, for example, if I were to be your wife and you pay me salary, and I decide to open an outlet, hold on a second. I decide to open something a business that I'm running.
All right.
I have the right
time
to
up,
decide
time
when
up,
to operate
everybody.
it or not.
Time up.
Let's drop this, please. Daddy Freeze, we good.
Thank you so much, Samaria. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Destiny, wife of John. And thank you so much. At this point, I have to run, make I no enter trouble. Because to be honest, this matter is a very delicate matter, and I fit offend my women. And my life and my show is centered around women. Women's ideas, women's needs, women are sidekicks. Many of them are single divorcees, some married women, everybody. So I know if you offend them. So this topic now.
You're not trying not to offend them and you're offending the men.
I'm also trying not to offend the men. That's your own job. That's why you are
She's
here, to balance it.
Always protecting you guys, John. Daddy Freeze is always protecting you guys. Even this topic is still centered around protecting men. He wants the wives to be available. He's always protecting you guys. That's the truth.
No, he's not protecting us. He's protecting the society. Because if the women are available,
It's expected. But it's expected. You shouldn't be surprised about
protecting
that.
the family start from the home.
That's what
It's expected of
start from the
it's
home.
expected
And that's
of
what
us,
he's
yes.
doing. So he's still protecting you guys. Protecting the family starts from the home.
he's protecting the
I
society.
would like to work anytime, any day.
Bye-bye.
I don't mind being my own boss.
Don't walk.
No, I love
That's
soft
period.
life. Honestly,
Period.
I love soft life. Me, wake up, cook. I cook, clean.
Being your own
Take care
boss
of my
doesn't make you
kids.
stress.
I love it.
You can be your own boss and you don't have to stress so much. Just do others.
Buki, that is why you're getting a Mercedes Benz and others are not getting.
No, it's not like that. It's because he can afford it. It's because he can afford
Others are
it.
struggling to pay for a Toyota Corolla. Don't worry yourself.
It's because we have people that are doing
Others. Mention them now. John, hold on. Mention them. Who are the others?
I'm not calling anybody name.
Mention them.
I'm not calling anybody name.
Mention them. Oh, talk.
I'm not calling anybody name.
No, that's how you were.
All right, guys. Good night.
But if you
Goodbye.
visit the straight black,
John.
We'll be back tomorrow with another smart topic. Thank you all for joining. John.
Thank you, sir.